All right, guys, we're back. And so is the ceiling fan. I finally get to see it. Yeah, and actually it was nice driving over here because it was the first time I'd driven over here during the daylight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I was almost late.
Did you notice my nicely cut
I did.
lawn and the angle and everything?
I did.
Lines.
The captain has one heck of a landscape job going.
You already mowed?
I mowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, dude, I didn't
get out
notice
there.
anything
He mowed
ever.
When you got nice
2 weeks
grass,
ago.
you got to mow it.
He literally mowed 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's my hour to listen to music or podcast.
Podcast,
or whatever,
baby.
and just kind of chill.
Yeah.
I haven't mowed yet, but I got my tractor back, my zero turn back, but haven't taken it for a spin.
It's also my first time seeing you guys in about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. So anyway,
You were on a trip, right?
I was on the trip. It was great. I was telling Josh, every day, 83 to 86, sunny, except for the worst weather day, it drizzled, rained a little bit in the early morning.
Is that the barbecue temperature?
That was I missed out on barbecue.
Just seemed like a really charming guy.
Yes.
And you're back in one piece, Mike.
Yep, no issues.
No limbs missing.
Nothing for a year now.
No.
When are you guys going away?
Nothing planned, not until July. Yeah.
So the answer is July.
July.
I'm going to
Nothing.
Canada in May, Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a wedding
Oh, okay.
over Patty's birthday.
You're probably July too then.
Are you guys going together to your Carolina trip?
We are.
Is that when you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so.
Going out west to the Rockies.
Oh, that's right. But that's
our 2-week
August,
adventure.
right?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
End of August into September. Yeah.
There's another couple, I think, going with you on the second week of that.
That's what I hear.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Are you going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't resist.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want to miss that.
No.
That's good.
Well, I think we're traveling early. It's hard to get a flight into Missoula, so we're traveling early, and we're flying to Denver. We're gonna stay there for a while because it's easy to get a flight from Denver to Missoula, but from here to Missoula, it's almost impossible.
Oh, I got you.
So we're gonna stay in Denver for a while, see Brooke and Rudy, and hang out there. And then we're gonna go to Missoula, hang out, and see Chandler and Bethany for a couple days there, and that's when we'll hook up with you guys in Bozeman and finish the next week off.
Is that when the tour starts? Or not the tour, but you know what I mean?
That's the end of the adventure tour.
Oh, so you'll be finished that.
I'll be finished that, and then we were kind of doing our own thing for a week, and so they're going to hook up with us.
Well, that'll be fun.
Do that, yeah.
Good time to go, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids will be back in school, so it shouldn't be as crowded.
Well, I've missed out on a lot of the local sports and news, so you guys got to fill me in.
Oh, we got opening day coming up Thursday.
Oh, is it Thursday?
Thursday's opening day.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that. So are you telling me that the Dodgers already had their opening day?
Yes.
Like over a
played.
week before the regular opening day?
Just trying to spread the MLB around the world.
But they couldn't do it like a couple days before. They had to do it a whole week.
That would have been a little of a disadvantage
I
coming
guess.
home, playing jet lag.
You know, that's your choice. That's the game you got to
Yeah, it
play.
was weird because Todd's like, "Oh yeah, they're winning the
I
first
can't-
game or whatever."
yeah,
and then,
I was like,
and then like
is he
2 days
still with
later,
us?
they're back in spring training. I'm like, this is weird.
I actually went on the internet. I was like, wait a minute. When is opening day? I could not figure it out.
28.
All right. So or were they the only two that did that? Mm-hmm. Okay. And what was the record of was it a 3-game series?
2. Split.
No, they split it. Mm-hmm.
I heard they're playing. They're doing that again next year in Japan or something.
Yeah, they've already approached the Dodgers about opening in Tokyo, next year.
Oh,
They'd have a little bit of a
that's a
draw.
good segue.
First North Korea, then Japan.
North Korea.
Nice.
Yeah. They were in North Korea.
North Korea.
Holy crap.
Kim Jong-un is a big Dodger fan.
Oh, well, okay. So why is it just the Dodgers decided to do this?
No, it was MLB.
Well, so they get to do it 2 years straight?
Well, they're the big West Coast team, and it's
You want your
Well, there's a
varsity.
lot of West Coast teams.
yeah, but they're the
You would obviously take a varsity team. Not going to send JV over.
I fell into that one.
Want to bet?
Well, that's cool, though. I mean, I guess it's cool. I didn't get to see it. I guess you stayed up. Was it a late night?
Not early in the morning. It started at 6 o'clock. 6 a.m. our time.
Both games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have it on stop?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Driving into work. And
Is
then
anybody going to opening day here?
Josh.
We got to get him a mic.
Josh, did you get seats in the splash zone or whatever? No. Oh, okay. Or was that you guys? No.
No, it
Okay,
wasn't.
I'm thinking of somebody else then.
For opening day?
Or just like for multiple games
Oh, no.
Oh, really? Like a season plan or something?
or something. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing.
We used to have that 13 game plan. I loved it, but then they jacked the prices up, and they were sucking too.
Yeah, we did it this year. Actually, Kevin Kelly.
In Baltimore?
Kevin and Kelly are one row behind us. Laura and I we're in left field, right at the turn.
Yeah.
I think 106 is the first one, and then 108. The seats that are turned.
You in fair
Towards
territory
the-
or foul territory?
It's in foul territory.
Just barely.
Yeah, it's right where they turn. So you're actually facing the field.
Yep.
But down the left field line.
That's
That's
They're
cool.
fun
That's
seats.
a great spot.
section.
Actually, it's a great place to catch a ball too.
Yeah.
So you got to keep
before
an
the
eye.
nets.
Oh, okay.
Now the netting's all the way down.
Is it all the way down?
Yeah.
I caught Benny Ayala's, well, not there at Memorial Stadium, but Benny Ayala's first major league home run down on that line.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I found the best place to catch a ball is right behind the Orioles dugout because they throw a ball in after
okay.
the first baseman throws
Right,
the ball in or whomever.
How many have you got?
Multiple. No, we were next. We're the section next to it.
Oh,
and we're
you
like,
didn't
we
get
should have moved. We should have moved over there. Yeah.
Have you ever caught one?
No, I've never caught a
Have
ball.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you have. You guys?
Yeah, we used to go to batting practice. You get there.
No, that doesn't count.
run
I'm
out
talking about a
and-
game
Yeah, he means
ball.
catch.
I've
He
got
means
game
catch.
balls
He means
before.
catches him and catch him in the
yes.
air. Yes.
Well, yeah, it could be.
Not just
That's
grab one
impressive.
off the not just grab one off the cement
To steal it from some kid.
but catch one in the air.
Give it to a kid. How about you?
Yep, Benny Ayala's. I caught.
Oh,
it.
that's right.
I caught his first major league
That's
home run.
cool.
Yep, and I gave it to the usher so he could have it.
Did you catch one, Kevin?
No.
No, me neither. It's like a thorn in my side too, because I have been trying for years, just praying, right? So a couple years ago, I'm at the game with Lise, and I forget what inning it is. It's late innings, and she's like, "Oh man, we gotta get an ice cream." I was like, "No, we'll go some other time." She just kept going on and on. Needs an ice cream, so I'm like, "Okay, fine, we'll get an ice cream." I get up. I swear. We go get the ice cream. We weren't gone 5, 6, 7 minutes. Come back and the usher's like, "Hey man, ball just landed in your seat." Oh, I went to kill her.
So
I
she
went to
saved your
kill her.
life.
Probably.
Saved your life. Right.
That's one way to look at it, I guess. I just stared at her.
We might have to go to some Ironbirds game. It's not quite the same, but you can catch.
Oh,
the
they're
ball
fun.
there. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Opportunities.
I don't go there to catch the ball.
What do you
I
catch?
need a major league ball.
There's a
You,
major
you
league
still
ball.
bring your glove to every game, don't you?
No, I don't. I should.
That'd be awesome.
Probably should.
They use the
I'd
same
be the
balls.
one where
Right?
it hits me right between the eyes.
They use the same balls, right?
Yeah.
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 I didn't even
Yes.
know. I didn't know
Yeah.
because they don't use the same ones in college.
But they also have crab feast there too.
Yeah. It's a good place to go. Watch a game.
Yeah, for sure.
You're right. We should go. We could do a podcast there.
Oh, there you go. Now you're thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what else happened then? Obviously, we got So we got nobody's going to opening day.
Josh.
Just Josh.
Just Josh.
We're going Easter Sunday.
Are you really?
Yeah, we got the Sunday home game package.
Oh, that's a good one.
Every Sunday home game will.
Except in the summer,
That's even better.
it's pretty hot.
Nah, we'll be fine.
100 and some degrees in the sun,
Get your $8 water.
and you'll be staring right into the sun.
Those seats are pretty. We've had those seats before for.
Yeah, at night though, right?
It was a mix last
Okay.
time.
You'll get sun. Your lower deck,
be good.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything in the news?
Angelo's passed.
That's right, he did.
Hit the applause. You did it. What the heck?
That's cold.
USA.
Try it out, Josh. Let's hear it.
Hold on, Angelos just passed away.
Yeah. That's as cold as it is. That's funny.
Ain't the beer cold?
Well, that's been coming for a long time, right? He's been sick a while.
Well, when you're 90 something,
Yeah.
you're sick.
90 and sick.
And then on the sadder note, Jackson Holiday, they demoted him back to AAA.
That's a crime.
All right. So what's the thinking
Absolute
on that?
crime.
Obviously, there's a benefit to doing that because he's playing lights out.
You get one extra
I
year.
mean, except for when he's hitting left-handers.
He was.
Team control.
Except if you watch, if you watched
extra
him
year?
play in spring, though, he struck out a lot.
early. 5 of his first 7 at bats.
Was there
Right?
were other
against-
people striking out too?
against right-handers.
or-
Oh well, it's spring training, right?
Exactly. So
But yeah, the justification was the left-handers wasn't
he's struggling
seeing enough
a little bit.
left-handers, and they're going to see a lot of left-handers, in the beginning of the season. But if it's me and I'm general manager, he's playing. He's
Well,
absolutely
again,
playing.
go back to what you were saying. So what's the benefit?
They get an extra year of control, team control, 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, they get an extra year.
If he goes back down
He
for
goes
3
down
weeks.
for 3 weeks.
So that's all.
because he didn't start with
What
the
do you mean
team.
by control? That's what I'm trying to understand.
So on the rookie contracts, it's X amount of years, 5 or 6.
Okay.
You get a whole extra year of control
Okay.
of the
I
player,
got you now.
which really doesn't make
Unless-
sense because the Orioles need to decide that they're a great team, fantastic, put together really well now. They need to extend contracts on young talent. And unless you're going to trade away a guy with and say he's got 2 extra years of team control,
Right.
which is a way to get at other prospects and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you would do something like that.
if you're going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the other 26 guys or the other 25 guys in the locker room would rather have the best 26 start the season. Games matter.
Yeah.
1
oh,
or
yeah.
2, 3.
It's it. Comes down to
Yeah, we've seen that.
single
Yeah,
digits
a
at the
game in
end.
April
Absolutely.
will keep you out of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The crazy
You can't win it.
It typically
You can
has.
lose it.
But you can lose it.
You
in
can lose
April.
it. Yeah.
For us.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, the crazy nuance to that whole thing is he can sort of buy back that year if he is rookie of the year or second in voting for rookie of the
Oh,
year.
really?
He gets that back as a player, which is I never knew that.
But
did
then
the
they would
same
be
thing, though.
extending his contract, I guess, right?
Well, they should. I mean, there's no.
If he gets rookie of the year or
Well, yeah,
second,
I
they're going
mean,
to extend the
so-
contract.
is he going to be a
kind of a
successful?
win-win.
I mean, he hasn't
Major league player.
He hasn't played one major league game yet.
Is
so-
he going to be a successful major league player?
Yes, he will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a major leaguer, a very great player.
Even
His
if
dad, Matt Holliday.
even if he doesn't live up to his expectations, he's going to be a successful major league
above
player.
that.
He's going to be extremely successful. He's going to be
If he lives
he's
up
going to
to-
be a beast.
All he's
If
gotta
he
do is
lives
stay
up
healthy.
to his potential, what we think he's going to be extremely successful. If
Unless he gets
doesn't-
hurt, but then who cares if you have an extra year of control of a hurt player? Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy for him.
He's number one for a reason. Yeah.
They did the same thing though to Rutschman got called up, but he got called up a little later. But Henderson,
Oh, they did it for
same
him.
thing, yeah.
How about this year? Anybody else other than him that was in that situation?
Yeah, there's a
where he's
couple.
rookie?
There's a couple guys.
There's a
that-
pitcher, wasn't it? Wasn't a pitcher at the
Kobe Mayo was another one that was playing lights out. And
Yeah, playing really
they-
well.
They just don't have the position.
Kerstad's really good too.
They're-
Kauser is going to make the team, right?
He's already made it.
He's already
They
made
didn't-
it.
he's super.
Who did they send down today?
I didn't hear today.
And neither.
and followed.
Shoot.
But yeah, they're
They made a couple moves today.
they're pretty loaded positionally. So there's,
So you think they have
there's
too
a
many?
lot of roadblocks for
There's
those
fact.
young players unless they start getting rid of the older players. And that's I think they're prepared to do that quite yet.
So,
Be interesting.
Pretty exciting times though.
It
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
It
it's
is.
good to go
For an
into the
Orioles
season
fan,
like
yeah.
that.
they're going to be good
So
for a
rare.
long time. They're going to
It's been
be
rare.
good for
It's
a
been a
long,
long time coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I put that back on the GM.
Elias is
Yeah,
he seems to be the driving
it
force.
took him a couple of years to get where he wanted.
Well, he better be extended if he hasn't been.
He better start extending
with,
the
the new players. Yeah.
They better do.
He will.
They better do Henderson.
He seems pretty
the
sharp.
Mariners did it. The Mariners did it with basically a first year guy last year. It's you got to do it.
Can't pull the trigger. You got to pull the trigger. You can't wait.
I think he was there for that. He seems like the trigger puller. Yeah.
He's a good talent evaluator.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But new ownership coming in, it'll be interesting to see
Be good.
what happens now. Open up the purse strings.
It can't
Get a
get
little
any
more
worse than it
aggressive.
was. So
I agree.
It can only get better than what we're used to, for sure.
You know, baseball needs a they need a floor. These teams should be responsible to spend. It's a brand, right? MLB is a brand.
Yeah.
So you should have to spend $100 million a year, not $43 million a year.
So they don't have
to
one
have an
right
MLB
now?
team.
It's your,
No.
it's your country club dues. You have to spend so much money at the restaurant
Yeah, exactly.
if you don't play the
Keep-
golf.
Don't hurt the brand.
Don't hurt the brand. You still have
But there
to
are
spend
teams
X
that
amount of money.
actually don't spend money, but make as much money as the big guys because
Because
of the shared revenue.
The shared revenue.
Oh, right.
Well, that's why they implemented that shared revenue. And then if they did it that way, they could get rid of that shared revenue if they made people spend.
When they first did the shared revenue, it was right after the strike. And it was in 96, and it was because there may have been probably would have been some teams that folded if they didn't do that.
Gotcha. Yeah. There would have been. Kansas
Or
City.
moved.
Kansas City would have been one of them. They would have folded.
Teams
Milwaukee.
that moved or
Pittsburgh.
Do you think they're going to expand overseas? Is that what they're
They're,
floating with?
they're going to
Might
Nashville
be
for
hard.
sure. Nashville's next.
Nashville.
That's not overseas, is it?
No.
No,
So wait a second.
No.
no. But they did say Nashville, and there's one other
Nashville's poised for a football team, too.
Probably,
Aren't they?
who's the other
Oh, wait.
what? The Titans?
Never mind.
Every Titan fan just tuned out.
That's right.
I just went back 30 years. Yeah, to the Houston Oilers.
Wow.
Houston Oilers.
All day.
Houston Oilers.
I don't know if they're going to go overseas. They could go international again, though. Well, they still
Canada?
are technically because of Toronto.
Yeah.
But they could go Mexico. They could go.
Yeah, they could go to Mexico.
They've played in Mexico in recent years.
Yeah.
Mexico City's a mile up.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't
Yeah.
have all of the what they have dehumidifiers or
Did they really?
humidors. The humidors that they put the balls in Colorado. They didn't have that when they
The humidor.
did Mexico City.
No. Wow. Yeah. Mexico could definitely support a team.
But it'd be hard to go in Japan and have an MLB team.
It's too far to fly.
It's
be hard.
Time
taxing.
zones are
It's
horrible.
taxing on the players.
So this seems kind of like the European football games. They're just,
They're going to sell jerseys,
yeah,
lots.
build a fan base.
Well, they could do it like they did back in the day. I mean, they could have like another league in Japan or in Europe or whatever, and then the winners and they all come together for like a World Cup.
They should do that anyway.
They
But
do.
the Japanese
WBC.
league, the Japanese leagues play
already do.
World Series champion after
no
the World
way.
Series.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No way they'd get killed.
Why? That's not the point. We would like that to happen, but we still want to kill them. Don't take that away from us, so we get to watch it.
Well, the Dodgers just played the Korean All-Star team when they were over there
Did they?
in exhibition matches. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was very one-sided.
Yeah,
But, well, Japan won the WBC, though, the last one.
yeah, the World Baseball. Yeah,
So they've kind of done that, but more like a World Cup soccer.
but I think that's
Setting.
If it went in that direction more so, I think it would be bigger, and I think it would be big.
Well, maybe
huge.
they should do, like,
WBC had huge ratings.
Yeah.
this year.
You can
It
have
was
some.
awesome.
You got Caribbean teams.
maybe they should do it like the Premier League.
Get
You know?
Puerto Rico.
At the end
Cuba.
of the season,
I don't
the-
know if they're big enough to field
I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't want to play them. We're getting all our players from there anyway.
No, just like the whole Premier League thing.
Get
you
your
know.
barbecue.
If you're at the bottom of the Premier League at the end of the season, you can get bumped out, right?
I hated
And
this
you know,
place.
Oh,
you
relegated.
could have a Japanese team playing for that last MLB spot.
Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates might go.
Pittsburgh.
The Somalia Pirates. I'm the captain now.
That'll force them to bump up that
Hey, listen.
payroll.
There you go. There's instant floor.
Exactly.
The African Blood Diamonds. The World League.
No, I'm just looking at my notes here to refresh my memory of what happened this week.
Anything else? It can't be that slow of a week.
Well, there's an elephant in the room, and I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, is it on your notes? Elephant?
No, I skipped it.
I
Because
bet we cover it though.
we probably will eventually.
Is it personal?
Oh no.
For some. For some, it strikes right in the heart.
Well, what is it?
Well,
Give me a hint.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right.
Not yet.
What else you got?
March Madness happening.
Oh, is anybody watching that?
Anybody have any brackets? still survivable brackets.
I've totally missed out.
Yeah.
No,
Not that I've ever done well with brackets, but no.
Maryland's not even in it this year.
Maryland's
I haven't
not in
really,
it.
I'm not interested.
And I have heard a few upsets. Was it Kentucky and somebody else went out?
Yale came up big. Yale.
Yale.
Yeah.
Who did they beat? Was it Kentucky or who beat Kentucky?
Sure.
I thought
I
it
don't
was a
know.
West Coast team, but maybe I'm
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
It was a West Coast team.
There was a couple upsets.
Who did Yale beat?
Like every year. I don't know.
We suck when it comes to March Madness. We got to do better next year. Why is it there seems like there's less interest though?
Well,
I
for
get-
me,
there's so many other things
Do you know-
going on right now.
Maybe that's what it is because I don't hear anybody talking about it.
You're right. They haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Normally that'd be something we would talk about, and we're not.
And it's,
I would. I used to love March Madness.
So did I. And
That's what I mean.
I don't even see like even advertisements for any of them. I've been hearing about it.
You're right.
Not much. I mean, there is some, and I have a couple of friends that are, chattering about it on
Yeah.
Facebook and stuff. But
yeah, it's not completely gone. It's just
but it's definitely
front and center.
lost a lot of its.
Leicester.
well, why is that? What
It's a
changed?
good question. I don't know. I didn't watch any college
Something's-
basketball this year.
There's so much going on in the world of politics. I think it's just overshadowing everything. There's so much drama going on, and all the mainstream media can do is.
But that's more reason to watch, just
Orange
to
Ma-
escape the
That's what I was
harassment.
thinking.
But they're not covering it. And they're not pushing it. They're not pushing it and promoting it. All they're promoting is Orange Man bad. That's all it is, man.
Is that the elephant?
No,
No, that's not
it's
the
not the elephant.
All right, sorry.
It's more like Godzilla.
Well, I mean, California's doing it again with their annual firearms
no,
registration
that's right.
process and fees and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, that's California.
Again and again and again.
I think it's worse. I think I just heard, and I don't have the details on it, but I heard there's legislation being proposed to stop firearms training. That would be criminal now.
Haven't heard that. but
Security. I just heard it just this afternoon.
Okay, well that's something new. What I did hear was that they're talking about going to a certification for trainers, and I think there's only one person in the state of Maryland that has the certification. It's the person's on the Eastern Shore called Atlantic Tactical, and he's the one that proposed it. Imagine that.
Really?
Yeah. Sent it in, and even if you're a firearms instructor, if you're like NPCTC certified,
Yeah.
that wouldn't even cover
Really?
what you would need, because there's some other things that they put in there that you wouldn't have.
So how would
certainly, like-
police officers?
Huh?
How would police officers train then?
Well, police officers aren't governed by that. Police officers are governed by NPCTC.
But aren't there- But if that's not good enough,
it's not good enough for them to train civilians,
see, okay.
civilians to carry, right? So that would be, so in other words, basically everybody they wouldn't be able to get permits because there wouldn't be any trainers available to train them that are certified, and it would cost you money to go to get this certification somewhere to go get it. So that's what I'm hearing. That's a proposal. I don't think that's going to happen. It may, but it's been talked about.
well, that's kind of how this law was. It was like, it seems like it's being proposed
Yeah.
by the Democratic.
Well, there is
Yeah,
a proposal for 11% tax on,
Yeah, I did
on
see-
all,
right,
on
yeah.
all firearms related stuff, guns, ammo, and accessories. Yeah.
That's Maryland, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is already passed to the point where it was an early thing, that they did something early enough to where they guarantee it to come to the floor at during session, General Assembly. So they did it early, so it got a guaranteed spot on the floor to get voted on.
Has there been any updates on that injunction? Or anything?
Nope,
No?
not yet. I know the assault weapons bill. Remember that it was assault weapons ban, Bianchi v. Frosch, that was shot down by the Supreme Court and said, no, you got to look at it under the new light of the Bruin decision, and they kicked it back to the Fourth Circuit. And there was a 3-panel judge that was going to review it, and they never came out with a ruling. It was already a year this last December, so now it's been January, February, March. It's been 15 months now that they haven't ruled on it. And what happened was the Fourth Circuit pulled a fast one. They knew they were going to lose by the 3-panel circuit because they were going to rule that just like the Supreme Court did, and said the assault weapons ban was unconstitutional. So the Fourth Circuit, the full panel, decided to take it up against with all of the members, and now they didn't even let the normal path of the 3-panel decide. They said no, we're just going to have the whole circuit hear it because they can totally change it because the Fourth Circuit's really a horrible two-way circuit. So now we're waiting for a ruling from the entire circuit on it, and they're going to obviously say it's constitutional, and it'll be fine, and then it's going to have to get appealed again and go right back to the Supreme Court. All they're doing is kicking the can down the road because the Supreme Court's going to smack them again.
Mm-hmm.
But they pulled a fast one.
And then they'll do it all over again with something else.
They'll try. Absolutely. That's it. That's all they do. It's lawfare again. They tie things up in the court. They'll make a law and say, oh, it's constitutional, and they'll say, oh, no, it's not, and then they'll sue, and it's rinse, wash, rinse, and repeat. Same thing. And they'll tweak it and say, oh, well, this wasn't constitutional. We think this one is, and they'll enforce it.
Right.
And they'll get all the judges to say yes, 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 until it gets to the Supreme Court. But in that time, it might take 2 years to get there. And that time, you had your rights denied for 2 years until it gets ruled on.
Yeah.
And then they'll just do it again, just with something else or change it slightly. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Great stuff.
And making it hard to protect yourself. And then
Exactly right.
look at videos that coming from the border this week. I mean, it's just disgusting.
Right. Well, they just locked up a 70 something year old man for homicide for shooting one of these illegals that they came over the border, and they had rifles. They were pointing rifles at him, and he fired at them on his property
In Texas?
Yeah, in Texas at the border, somewhere on the border down there. And he called Border Patrol, say, hey, I had armed guys come here, and they're always on his property, right? He's got a lot of property. He's right on his border is actually on the Mexican. His property is the Mexican border. So he says they're here all the time, and they had rifles this time, and they were pointing rifles at him. He had shot at them when they were pointing rifles at him, and they all took off running. And he called the Border Patrol, and they went out looking, and they found the dead guy, obviously with no gun, because they took all his stuff. Found a dead guy, and then they locked him up and charged him with homicide right now. Yep.
Jeez. Well, who actually locked them up? Was it the Border Patrol?
I don't think it was Border Patrol. I think it was the state of Texas, probably.
Wow. Well, I was surprised 2 things didn't happen. One, that nobody got shot on that initial video that we saw where they charged the border.
They couldn't shoot him because they didn't have any rifles. They didn't allow them to carry. They're not armed. They don't allow them to carry rifles.
Oh, the patrol.
The guard. It was
The guard.
The guard.
National
Yeah,
Guard.
the guard.
Right.
They have no weapons. Not allowed to have them.
Okay, well, that explains that.
Yeah.
And then did they have anything else? Tear gas, anything like that? Because
I don't know.
It seemed like
All that does is spray us. We know that, right?
yeah, I know.
Whenever somebody pulls out the tear gas or pulls out the pepper spray, everybody's like, no.
Yeah, where's the wind blowing?
Yeah.
So you get
That's all you do.
one, yeah.
Yeah. It's just you just spray everybody. You spray us. Don't do it.
I don't know. I guess when the video started, I was like, this is not gonna end well. And as far as I know, nothing serious happened at that incident.
No, but apparently this happens all the time, and this is just we just happen to
just
see
never-
this one on.
Somebody's
on,
gonna lose it.
We just saw this one on
Can you
video.
imagine? You're standing there and they come running at you. Somebody's gonna do something bad.
It only takes once.
Did you notice the demographics of who was coming across there?
No, I didn't.
It was all men. There was no
Oh, well,
there was no
yeah, I
women,
did notice
kids
that.
or anything.
Yes.
It was just all young,
Well,
relatively young men.
Venezuela emptied out their jails.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a good bit of people who are coming over.
And mental institutions.
Their crime's going down now.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
Did you say that?
Yeah, last time, right? It is going down. Crazy.
Did you hear? I don't know if this is confirmed that there were trailers being pulled in Chicago full of Berettas.
No, I didn't hear that.
I saw the video of the trailers, and they were stacked full of cases of Berettas. And the idea was that they're handing them out.
To who?
It was UN people in there handing them out
To illegals?
in Chicago. Yeah,
To illegal.
yes, I heard two reports of it. Doesn't mean they're confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't
I don't
know
want
that.
to keep
What's
spreading
that- what that
rumors,
mean?
but it's like, what the heck is going on?
Well, there was a judge in Chicago that did rule that an illegal alien that was in here that he had locked up with a firearm, and obviously if you're illegal, you're not allowed to possess,
Right.
you're not allowed to possess a firearm and own a firearm, and she found that found it unconstitutional, say that he that violates his constitutional rights to have because he had no criminal history, no felonies on his record.
Funny how
but
that
he was here illegally, which is a crime.
Yeah,
But
he's not an American
but he
citizen.
doesn't have a criminal record. So
That we
she's
know
saying
of.
that. So this liberal judge is saying that that violates his constitutional rights. But apparently, illegals have constitutional rights too, being here too. So how come they can't vote in federal elections? Because that's a constitutional right.
They will be.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they'd have to change the constitution.
Yeah,
So, but
I got to find out if that's true about that.
about the Berettas thing.
Yeah, because I heard it twice, and then I saw the video, and I was like, either this is quite the little psyop they got going on here.
What I do know is true. What I do know is true is what Biden was doing, the administration was doing. They flew.
Fly,
I want to say
yeah.
they flew 356 or 57,000 illegals in Mexico. They flew them in on planes. The reason they did it was that way they wouldn't come across. They wouldn't come across the border, get caught, and then actually increase the numbers on paper as to how many people were actually coming across the border.
Because they're not coming over the line.
Because they didn't get caught and then released, and so they basically didn't come through the system that they're recording, and that they just basically flew them in where they wanted them, and that way the numbers would look like they're smaller than they really are. Isn't that nice?
Well, it's Trump's fault anyway.
Of course, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be true.
because they wanted to seal the border, and he stopped them.
Yeah.
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 It's really
Okay.
How was the Orange Man doing this week?
He's still orange.
He did get a break on his
Yep.
bail,
What is Bond?
his bond. Yeah,
He has 10 days to pay it. And
they cut it in half, I guess.
60%.
It's only 200 million instead of
They dropped it
400.
60%. It's 175 million, and he has to pay it in 10 days. And he says he's got the cash, so not to worry.
Yeah, he got more time. I think
10 days,
10 days,
10 extra days. Ooh.
because it's supposed to be today, right? He had to pay it.
Today was the deadline. Yeah,
And
Yeah, they looked at it as a victory, but I'm like, geez,
yeah, nice victory.
still a lot of money.
well, Truth Social's going. Isn't it going to NASDAQ or
Yeah.
something? So maybe he'll.
Yeah, he's
Maybe that'll be a
cleaning up all that
windfall,
one.
and he'll be able to pay for it just from that. Who knows?
He said he's going to the NASDAQ and not the Dow because the Dow is controlled in New York.
Smart.
I thought the NASDAQ was too, but apparently it's not.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But he said
Isn't the
something.
whole exchange?
He said something about the Dow. Because of that, people are afraid to invest because of Letitia James.
They certainly don't want to do business.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the world is like, what's going on? People spend money here. They invest here from all over the world because this is the best place to invest. One, and two, we have laws to protect their money. We have property rights, and they know that their money's not going to be stolen and taken from them by some court or some attorney general. So when stuff like this happens, people go, okay, maybe I don't want to throw that $1 billion over there and invest somewhere else.
I wouldn't. Didn't somebody else pull out?
They just they just need to find a bookie. That's all.
Did you lose your train of thought?
Yeah, I did. There was some business guy that was originally going to come to New York, and he said, "Forget it."
Oh, you're talking about Kevin Leary?
That's it.
It is. He's
Right.
he's doing his business in North Dakota, I think. Something that data
Really?
data
That's
mining,
a
data
place to switch.
processing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's doing big
Bitcoin
big
mining.
servers. Yeah, Bitcoin mining and servers. So a lot of the servers
Oh,
they take a lot of electricity, and it takes a lot of electricity because you have to cool these
Yeah.
things down.
Yeah,
and so they're talking
they're
about
drained.
they're going to build them underground because like
Okay.
a geothermal thing. Because down underground it's like a constant 53 degrees, so they already have the advantage of being cool down there.
Why were they going to do New York to begin with then?
I don't know, man.
That seems kind of strange.
Well, he was a big real estate investor in New York.
Yeah, Oh, that's
And-
what it was.
And he said, after what's happening with Trump, he's like, they're coming after him. Every real estate investor in the world tries to value their property as high as they can to get a bank loan. That's just a normal process.
Yes.
And when you're brought up on charges for doing just that, they've got to go after everybody.
And then the bank has to do their own due diligence anyway. They're gonna get their own assessment and find out what they think it's worth, and they either meet in the middle or they'll give them a loan or they don't. But ultimately, if they give you a loan, then they put their stamp of approval on it, right?
There's no victim.
There's no
Banks
victim,
remain
and everything
whole.
was paid back.
Yeah, crazy.
And everybody's been doing it forever.
Early.
Yeah. Well, I heard a good analogy about that. They said it's like you go to get hired at a job, and they ask you, what's your value for your salary, and you say 150,000, and or say 150,000, and 200,000, and then they hire you, and then over time they were like, probably should have just paid him 150,000. So we're going to sue you for a couple
Right.
million, several $1 million because you overvalued yourself. I was like, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, companies want consistency, and
Yeah.
they want to be able to, like, a predictable outcome for
Yeah.
things.
And
when things
when
like
stuff
this
like
are
happen, there's
happening-
no predictability. Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly Leary's point.
But I don't think Letitia and these guys, they don't care. They don't care.
No, they don't.
Well, there's an agenda. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't matter what happens in New York.
But yeah,
Doesn't matter
they'll
if it's in the city,
they'll
to
bring
the
the whole
state.
state and bring the whole city down just to get to their end game. Absolutely, doesn't matter.
I think that's the difference between those who want to just fight for their principled side. You used to have, principled Democrats, principled Republicans. Yes, there was always outliers. There was always the extremes, but it was just a different way of governing you were fighting for. Whereas now it's just, we just hate that agenda. We're going to do everything. We'll kill everything. We'll burn the world.
Scorched earth, man.
Scorched earth.
And justifies the means.
You
You
nailed
stick
that.
together, man.
Yep, the ends justify the means, and it's
Democrats
just
stick together.
and it's just the beginning. We got 8 months to go, and it's going to be ugly.
It already is.
Oh, stand by.
If one more Republican, Rhino House person resigns,
Or in trouble.
it's ridiculous.
We know what they're going to do, right? As soon as
I
they
nearly
get
lost it.
majority,
Well, they want to hand it to Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
But as soon as they get within the first week, they'll draft legislation on that 14th Amendment on the law for the Insurrection
Insurrection
Act.
law.
Yep, and then they'll remove him from every Democrat.
Did you hear
every Democratic state they can?
Bongino? Shout out to him because he did a good summary of that and was talking about how there's a couple ways they can go about it. If they control the House, and let's say we have the election, Trump's on the ballot, but nobody gets to 270 because of maybe third parties in there or whatever. If nobody gets to 270, it goes to the House. It goes to Congress. They vote. They determine who wins.
If nobody gets to 270.
If nobody gets to 270.
And the other
which
way,
could happen especially with three candidates.
and the other way they could do it, if they don't get the House now, if Trump wins the election, he doesn't get sworn in until January 20th. And they get, I'm not sure when the new Congress takes over, but it's probably before that. And then they could go in right away. And if they win the House and the Senate, then they can go in and pass that law, boom, and remove them.
Well, these Republicans are helping them do it before the election.
People are leaving before the term's up for no reason.
There's only one reason.
Something's got. There needs to be some phone taps.
They need to
figure out
leave
what's going on
sooner.
there.
If they're really just burned out and they want to leave, which is stupid. But anyway, if they don't want to serve their term out, fine, leave now. But they're leaving too late, so that those positions are vacated between that period and election. So who's got the majority at that point? The Dems do. Jeffries is now the speaker. They can pass that law, same law you were talking about.
All they got to do is find another Republican to run out.
Yeah.
In a state,
One more.
in a state where the governor can appoint somebody in interim.
There's too many backroom deals. It's going to happen. Boy, does it piss me off. It's so obvious. Who was the last one? Somebody just did it.
Yeah, some guy, a
This week.
new guy from Wisconsin, I think it was. Was it Wisconsin? He's
Yeah,
like
and
a
it's
30,
timed perfectly.
35-year-old Marine.
Yeah.
How's he burnt out?
Yeah, it's timed perfectly. It's not. It's
No.
the absolute latest that he can do it without.
Well, the Republicans are stupid too. They forced
can't
out
get-
they forced out that one liar from New York. George, what was his name?
Soros.
Santos. Yeah, Santos.
Santos.
George
Not
Santos. They
Soros.
forced him out, and then he hasn't been. That. Why would you wait? Why don't you wait until he gets criminally charged and that?
Because they're stupid. You said they were stupid last week.
Yeah.
Was that you?
I've said it for many years.
Yes, they're so.
But you know
stupid.
what? And you know what? I thought about that because we had that conversation. What was it, a week ago? I guess.
The right thing to do is not. You can't just do the right thing anymore because all it does is it comes back to haunt you.
Well, there's too much of this crap going on. And here's the thing: you have. We were saying it, and we all agreed. I'm not picking on you. You said it. You said perception is reality, is truth.
Yeah.
Right. And we all were like, yeah, yeah. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, really, truth is truth. What the hell? We can't. Well, here's the thing. If I could say, there's a couple of us, and we're talking, and somebody could say, well, I don't believe that a freaking Mack truck coming down the road at 60 miles an hour is going to plow me over, and that's their truth. That's their perception. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You could argue about it all day long. I challenge you to stand in front of the truck. If that's coming at 60 miles an hour, you're going to be splattered. So at what point do we say, oh, we're going to give up what's true because we want to play with people's perceptions? And again, we all agreed because we're so used to that. But at what point do we just take a stand and say, you know what,
problem
true is true. We got to go with the truth.
It's not, because it never comes out. Perception is truth.
Right.
The truth never comes out. How's it ever going to come out?
But
It's drowned
that's what I'm
out.
saying. Is that our responsibility to finally say, you know what, it's got to come out. We got to bring it out.
Yeah, you're
I
playing
know
with
what you're saying,
You're
but
playing with information. You're not playing with a Mack truck. That's the thing. And then you can,
The politicians
it's-
lie so much. They used to hide it. Now it's like they'll just go up on the podium and
'Cause they have immunity.
say, I got a degree from this school. And it's proven, no, you didn't. You didn't even attend that school.
right.
And
That's what I mean. We're not calling them out.
But here's the difference. Here's the difference.
Freaking losing it.
Here's the difference, though. When George Santos does it, the Republicans get together and say, "Yeah, we're going to oust him out," and they eject him out of the House.
Right.
But when Senator Gold Bar Bob Menendez gets indicted by the feds, do they do the same thing? No, he's still in there and still voting. Okay, so they still have a vote under him until he's.
So what's wrong with
gone
Republicans
and
saying,
convicted.
"Hey, look, Santos, you're a piece of crap, but we're going to hold you here because we're not going to
we
check."
need your vote.
And let's just say it. Let's just say it. It's
and that's
true.
and that's the difference. The Republicans do the right thing because of
Stupid.
pressure.
What's that?
Because of
They're
pressure.
stupid.
Because they're stupid. Right? They're stupid.
But everybody's stupid.
And
we're
no,
all stupid.
But the
it's-
Dems don't do that. The Dems don't do that. They stick together till the last minute.
Stupid party
Until
and the
he's
evil
in jail.
party.
Well, you just took the words
Welcome
right
to
out of my
America.
mouth.
Guys got
stupid
gold
versus
bars.
evil.
In his pockets, guys got gold bars from Egypt in his pockets, and this guy's still in Senate because they don't oust him. We've got to start playing like they do. There's no more right.
What does it
wrong,
do?
moral.
What does it do to your psyche? I know what it does to mine. What does it do to your psyche when you're saying things that you know aren't true, just because you want to appease the ones who you want to convince to come to your side? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's called the Adam shift.
So what does that do to you? I know what like I said, I know what it does to me. I think we all agree. We hate it. I think it tears us up inside. I think it does something to us.
Well, they have immunity. They can lie and do whatever they want in the House while they're in the podium. Whatever they say, you can't sue them. They can't be held liable for anything.
No, you
'Cause
got
they
to
have-
beat their ass.
They have.
You got to beat them.
Now you're talking.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I get.
But I don't know. I just something feels in me like we're selling out when we say,
And it doesn't.
we got to play their game.
And what Todd said, it's about perception. So when they get up there and lie and lie and lie and lie, they don't care that they're lying.
Yeah, they're
know it's
gaslighting. I get
Well,
it.
they know it's a lie, but it doesn't matter because if they say it enough, and they can do it because they have immunity and they have no harm coming to them. It's about perception. They're creating that perception.
Are we as a society then doomed to gaslighting versus truth? Is that what it is? Truth won't beat that.
Yes, because there's no way we can hold them accountable while they're saying and doing the gaslighting in the House on the floor. They're immune from anything they say. They could say Trump ate out an elephant on Friday night in Times Square, and he can't sue them, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Twice in this broadcast.
Yeah.
That's the theme of the broadcast.
Yeah, you're going to write that down.
Yeah, what's it? Have to come with it.
Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. Perfect.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah. And
What is the elephant? I'm still lost on that
That's
one.
that perception. That's
anyway.
that perception thing. They create it under false pretenses, and they're lying about
Okay.
it. But that doesn't matter.
But we've been, listen, I mean, I know where we've come from, all five of us. And I'm just saying there's a morality issue here that at what point, how far can we push that aside in order to accomplish our goals? Do we have to push it aside? Are we at that point
Do
where
you
we have
want
to
to win?
I do.
You want to win?
I think we should.
Do you want to win? If
What,
you don't
push it
want to
aside?
win, continue with that moral high
Well, then
ground.
where does that go? How does that make us different?
Doesn't it? Makes us winners.
It doesn't.
At least you're honest. God bless you.
I wish. You know what? I think the Republicans should go out
I'm
and get
tired of
300
being-
million
yeah.
votes
Right.
in the next election.
Right. I'm tired of being different. I want to win. I want to win now too.
Get 300 million, and they'll say, "Well, there's not that many voters." Like, well,
But isn't that okay?
So?
Keep going with that. Don't you? Isn't that how you end up with the rhinos? They're the people who decided, you know what, we're going to take care of ourselves. We're not, we don't care about the morality.
We'll
issue
vote them
anymore.
out. We'll vote that. We got to vote them out. You got to vote them out.
Well, I agree to that. That's my point. Is that isn't there a way we can do that without sacrificing what we truly believe in, and getting into the point where we have to
Maybe when we get to
just
that
worry
point,
more about perception than we are more about what's right.
maybe when we get to that point where we can do that. But right now, I don't think there's any way around it, because until you get the power to clean things up,
Well, look what just happened this
you
week.
have to win. You have to
or
win.
a week ago with the whole bloodbath comment. Okay. Normally that would have been a mess. They'd have made that an issue for weeks, if not months. But everybody just laughed at it.
Yeah, that was
everybody.
bullshit.
It mocked.
Here's
And
a
it disappeared.
Here's a better analogy. I'll give you one right now about the moral stuff. Do we want to be moral, or do we want to win elections? Abortion. Do we want to be moral, or do we want to win elections?
I think being moral or being truthful about it, I think there's a way to do that and not lose.
Well, there is, but you have to have the conversation.
You have to be able to
you-
articulate it.
You have to have the conversation, and they don't want to have the Dems don't want to have the conversation. Because
Nobody does. It's ridiculous.
They don't want to have the conversation. The Republicans don't want to have the conversation. Nobody wants to have the
I
conversation.
know that.
But the problem is you're getting beat over the head with it. Okay, so you have to have the conversation. Say, look, okay, right to life, or I believe in I believe pro-life, but I'm not against abortion for rape, incest, that type. Those
Well, you know
types
what?
of things.
Trump ran
or
on that
life-
platform last time and won.
I understand that. I understand that. But now what's happening is that was before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Now Roe v. Wade's overturned. It changed a whole lot of things. And now, as soon as that happened, some of these Republican states have gone full blown 5-week ban, heartbeat ban at 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And when you get to those numbers, you lose a whole lot.
Okay, but isn't
of the
that the state
country.
issues? Isn't that down to the state?
It is down to the state, but then they're starting to talk about the feds, federal laws creating an abortion ban. Okay, and when you do that,
Oh, wait. Stop. Are they really saying that, or is the opposition saying that to make us look radical on it?
it's
in other words,
it's both. It's both.
Have you seen any
They're
proposed
using it-
legislation coming from our side?
Not proposed, but there's been talk about it at like a certain amount of weeks. So again, there shouldn't be anything federal. It should be left up to the states.
Correct.
Period. Full stop. So there shouldn't be anything federal. But so just to talk about
So
having
why
a federal
go back to what
ban.
Todd said? Then why can't we just be smart and say, "Hey, that's a state issue. We're out of it."
because they won't. I think Trump is going to come up with a 15-week.
I don't think he is.
Federal
I think
ban.
he's
I
fine
do.
with.
I think he wants to try to figure out
he'll
how
lose.
to
I think he'll lose
marriage
if he
both
does that.
sides.
I think he'll lose if he does.
We
that.
already did lose. The last election,
Well, I
we
think-
lost
well, I-
because of.
Yeah, but
I think if there's any
that's
federal
why they
ban,
lost?
we'll lose. If there's any federal ban at all, we'll lose. It should be.
Jump
left
in
up
here,
to the
Kevin. What are you
state.
saying?
I had a mouthful there.
After you
So
swallow your dog.
here's what I would say. is the Dems were smart because they control all the media, or 90% of the media.
Right.
So you look at all mainstream media, it's all controlled by the Dems. You look at the teachers' unions, now they're infiltrated in the schools. So they start, espousing all this information to the kids when they're younger, and they're controlling the colleges. So you look at all of that, and how do you get a podcast or, 15 or 20 of them out there that actually resonate with the majority of conservatives? You have an uphill battle,
But
that's the problem.
Is it a battle worth dying on?
I think
A hill
it
worth
is.
dying on, rather.
Again,
Yeah.
do you want to win elections? Do you want to win this election? Because you
know.
have to win.
But look at conservative-
in order to change things.
Look at what Kevin just said, though. If you look at the podcast and alternative media, conservatives are making headway in that. In fact, that's why they hate it, because they can't control this. They can't control this conversation we're having right now.
Sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. You can lose the battle now and fight.
I'd rather win the battle
and you
and the
have to
war.
fight, and then you have to fight. Then you have to fight the battle at another time after you win the war.
They're playing chess. We're playing checkers.
Correct. Absolutely. On this issue, they are absolutely.
Just in general. I mean, just they're playing the political games. I mean, they're gloves off.
So you're basically saying a pro-life candidate, let's say in Maryland, pro-life candidate's got no shot,
Correct.
so he might as well just give up on that topic completely
No,
to even have a chance.
not give up on it. He can't be. I'm just pro-life, and I believe in blah blah blah, and I don't think there should be any abortions. That's a loser. If you believe that, that's fine, but you can't campaign on
But he's
that.
going to get asked on it.
Then he can't campaign on it. He can say, I believe in life. I said, but I'm not opposed to, in Maryland, have a
Right.
have a 25, 26 week. Well,
that goes back to saying that.
First trimester.
I let the
First
state
trimester.
decide. I'm going to let the state decide. Maryland's decided.
First trimester.
the good old wishy-washy political answer just to get through.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, isn't that
I mean, that's what.
isn't
they're
that the
doing.
same thing?
Why is it political? Why is abortion even a political issue?
Because it's a win issue for them.
Why? The Republicans drive just as hard on it.
Well, okay.
Yeah. The opposite direction.
Let me
Foolish, yeah.
re-answer that. I think it's political
It should
because people are scared of it. I think people are scared to take a stance on it. So I think they feel like they got you, and they do, because if you got a weak candidate who's afraid to take a stand, then I think they've already lost.
Well, here's the reason they don't take a hard stand on it. The Republicans won't take a hard stand on it because where are you standing? Are you standing at first trimester? Are you standing at never?
I'm standing
Or
where
are
the
you-
state decides.
But that's not my point. Wherever they stand, they've got. If they stand here, they lose half of the Republican Party. If they stand here, if they stand here, they lose all independents. So they can't win if they take a hard stand here because they can't bring him their base. If they stand here at a 6 week or 8 week, then they lose every independent white woman and they're gone. So you can't stand either way because you lose your base or you lose the people that you need to win.
Okay,
So
you can't
which is
stand
it?
either way. What do you do?
You have to say it's up to the states and we'll let the states decide.
But that's what I'm
period.
saying.
Then you can't have a stand. You
your
can't have a hard
political
stand.
answer.
No,
You have
Well,
to have.
can't
You
you
have
preface
to play
it
smart.
with "This is my belief," but
Well, why?
have-
But seriously, why,
they're gonna ask you.
why is it a political issue?
because
Do Democrats just want to kill babies? Do Republicans just want to adopt babies? And no, it shouldn't be political.
Well,
Every Democrat doesn't want to kill babies.
it's political because
that's
they
right.
can use
That's
it.
right. That's why I think the truth.
It's political because they
buys
can
you
use it
something.
as a weapon. It's about power. They can use it as a weapon.
yeah,
Doesn't
Well,
matter why
Don't
it is.
participate.
How do you not participate if you're running?
Just say it's a
States'
state.
right.
It's states' right. State issue. Federal government has no business in it. Period.
So
And- full
congressionally
stop.
and as a senator,
Okay.
you're going to have to participate,
correct.
right?
Yeah, because you're
Sure.
representing your state.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. I feel like we're getting around to the same point, and that is, if you're running for president, that you say, hey, this is how I feel about it. Here's how I feel about the issue. But I understand it's a state right issue, and I'm just, I'm going to let the states work it out.
Right.
And I think.
So was it
I
driven?
think that's what
though?
Trump's been saying.
Was it driven? Back to my question.
Yeah.
Why is it political? Seriously, why? Is it because of the far right, the evangelical portion of the Republican
I think
Party.
it's both. I think it's
that
both
you
extremes.
have to appease them. Is that why it's political?
No, I think it's both extremes.
Because I don't think
for the
I don't think
Republicans
the
it
far
is.
left is a bunch of baby killers that just want to kill.
I think the
children
extreme
before
left
they're
is.
born.
It is.
I mean, when they're talking about, hey, we can do it.
It is as soon
up
as you
to
take
200.
their right to kill them away.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
But they don't care when they have the right. That's fine. Then they don't care. They don't necessarily want to kill babies, but they want the right to if they.
I've got
if
a
they
very
want to.
You know what? You know what? Here
Yeah,
it
sorry.
is. And here it is. Look at us. Look at us. We're sitting here talking about it like this. This is why it's political, because it's such an important thing. We're talking about life, and we just, it's like, where do you want to fall on that?
It
You're
is
going to fall one way or the other.
It is an important thing, but that's not why it's political.
It's political because they need
It's
the far
political-
right.
It's political because it and this is what it invokes, and its power. Both sides can use it to beat each other over the head with,
Sure.
and
I get that.
and the Dems and the left can win on it because if you look at all the polling, 67% of the people are in favor of are not in favor of a ban on abortion, a total ban on abortion. They're not. It's a losing.
It is such a poison
losing
pill
issue.
for
It's
the
a poison
Republican
pill.
Party.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can't, like I said, and you can't stand here. Oh, you can't stand here and say, "Oh, we want to ban abortions at 6 months, at 30 weeks." You'll lose all the far right because, oh my God, you're killing babies. Because it's a heartbeat, it's a full baby. It even looks like a baby. Hello, you're killing babies. So you can't stand there. You lose your base. Base isn't going to come to vote. And if you go to 20 weeks, 18 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, you're going to lose every white female in the country, independent, and you can't win when you lose those votes. So you don't have either one. So depending on where you are, you're a loser. So you got to just run from that issue and say, forget it. The states can do it.
How come we have to run from it? They don't.
Because they're winning it. The issue is there's 67% of the population doesn't want ban on abortion. So they've already won the issue.
I thought majority of them want some restrictions on abortion.
Well, if you break it down by restrictions, yes, but a total ban on abortion, 67% of the population say no. They want some type of ban on abortion.
Well, what's the majority?
I bet it's higher than that. I bet it's higher than that. That wouldn't want a total restriction on abortion. I'll bet you in the country it's higher. Than
other than rape, incest, and the health of the mother, it's like
that's what they always say.
It's
That's what they-
67%.
You're going to make this 12-year-old girl that was raped by her uncle have a baby.
Correct. Yeah.
You evil Republicans, and they're so
Correct.
stupid.
And they beat them right over the head with it.
They just let it.
Yeah. Exactly.
They let it hit, saturate.
So we're already losing the issue on the numbers alone. So you can't win with
It
losing 67%.
seems to me that a candidate that runs on those restrictions is gonna do okay on that issue.
Here's another data point. More than half of the population is female. Probably about 55% of the population is female, because men die earlier. There's more females than there are males in the world, in the United States. Okay, so because of that, if you have, that's why your numbers are skewing 67%.
Do you guys truly believe that Trump had more votes last time? Do any of you think he actually would have won if there hadn't been any discrepancies?
You're talking about like
more than
voter?
what was actually thrown in. Like, was there voter
In
fraud?
other words,
There was
do you
voter
think
fraud.
do you think if there was no fraud, he would have won?
Yes.
yes, especially
Okay.
if there was no mail-in fraud, mail-in votes.
So the issue
Ballot
didn't really
harvesting.
matter, did it?
But don't the Democrats
wasn't-
have more voters to begin with? Aren't the Republicans?
That
behind the
wasn't an
eight ball
issue. That wasn't an issue. That was for the
But everybody knew his stance on it.
No. That was
He
20,
appointed that court.
No. That was 28. That was 2022. It didn't fall until
Yeah, Roe versus Wade
Roe
didn't go
versus
down
Roe
until
didn't
the
go
last
down.
election.
It went down after 2020.
When the red wave, when the red wave that was going to hit,
Correct.
that never hit.
So 2020.
That was abortion.
That wasn't a topic. Abortion wasn't an issue in 2020. It was 2022 that we lost because of abortion. So his election has nothing to do with any of this. It's this election that's gonna kill it if he doesn't do the right thing with checking back on that federal abortion ban and making it like first trimester-ish.
Right.
That's where people can come together in the middle.
Well, I think the border and the economy are going to be two major parts.
I
of
think
this
I think
election.
they're over
It's not
top.
going to be.
Right. I think
abortion.
they're 1 and 2. You're right.
Yeah.
I think border's number one, but
Yeah.
if it stays that way, but we got 8 months to go. They're gonna bring it
already
up.
started.
They tried.
They've already started.
Yep.
But
Talking
isn't that
about how overblown the border issue is, and
Doesn't
most
matter.
people don't know somebody that's been affected by it. Honestly, we do. We live 3 miles or 5 miles away from a trail where
Right.
a girl got killed by somebody that they're speculating here illegally.
Right.
It affected Bel Air, Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. But there probably are lots of places where it hasn't affected their town.
But it will. When you think about like the small towns,
Not before
and-
November.
I think it will, because there's
It already is.
there's so many people coming over the border, and they're taking jobs, and people are going to be pissed when they get a pink slip because they're not they lost their job to somebody who's going to
isn't
work.
that the most ironic thing? What jobs are they probably going to take?
They're gonna
Probably
take-
Democrat. Like probably.
They're going to take the job nobody else wants to
service
take.
working Democrats. Yep.
Isn't that crazy? The irony of abortion. Think about that. What is abortion? I mean, which party? And this sounds really callous, but which party is abortion going to limit more? The growth of more.
Oh, that is the irony.
yeah.
It's just crazy.
Well, it's always been an issue
they
with the
don't-
black community for
Well,
for
they
decades.
they import their voters. They don't need to birth them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Why
That's
birth
pretty
them when
smart.
we can
You know
just
what?
bring 15 million over in 3 years?
Let me think. How can I make
And they're
it-
voting age already.
How can I add millions of votes to my voter block?
Yeah. We don't have to wait till they're 18. They're already 18, and we can get
is
them
nuts.
and we can get them to fight our endless wars, because none of our kids are signing up for the military. So we will just import our people in here, and we'll put them in the military and say, hey, if you fight our wars for us, we'll give you citizenship.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. I obviously don't have the answer for abortion, but
Right.
they need
Well-
to figure out how to separate from abortion if they want to win.
Yeah.
I was just
national elections
it was just
again.
bothering me, the whole thing about the whole truth issue. And again, I'm the same way. I was agreeing with everything we were saying, but I just thought about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing when we say we're not going to worry too much about the truth issue right now? We're going to worry about what's going to win." And I get it. I do get it, but I'm just not.
Again, just
I
because
feel icky about it.
just because we feel a certain way, like, hey, we're totally against abortion. We're absolutely pro-life, and we don't want any abortion except for rape, incest, the health of the mother, certain rare, super rare, and tragic conditions. Just because we feel that way doesn't mean
Yeah,
that doesn't mean the rest of the population feels that way. And if you want to win elections, and if you want to change and make America great again, you got to win elections. You can't lose elections and expect to be able to change shit. You don't change shit unless you're in charge, brother. And we're not in charge. So we got to get back in charge. So again,
You know what's funny
You might
about
have
that?
to lose the
We have the House.
You might have to
and
lose
still
the
feel in charge.
You might have to
Yeah,
lose
exactly.
the battle to win the war.
Yeah. No, I get it. And wasn't trying to really dive into the whole abortion issue so much as it was just the whole.
Sounded like Hulk Hogan, didn't it?
Yeah,
I said morality,
yeah,
and-
brother.
Hey, brother. I
Couple octaves
I
higher.
got hung up. I mentioned the morality issue, and of course that always leads to that. But that wasn't even what I was thinking about so much as the other issues. But anyway, it was just something that bothered me. It was a good discussion though. But I'm not leaving here until we find out what the elephant is.
Oh boy, that might
Hold
have to
on.
wait.
Hold on. Let me go get my interpreter.
I think I figured it out actually.
Epi, where are you? I need you here.
Hold on, he's by the
I'll tell you
one armed
what,
bandit.
I know how to approach this. I know how to approach this because I know nothing about it. Just tell me what happened, because I just know there's this.
Go ahead, Todd. I'll interpret
on.
for you.
Go ahead.
Come
This
on.
is somebody, whoever could.
Come
sum
on,
it up
Captain.
best.
What happened? Tell us about what happened,
This is all hearsay. I'm telling you.
I did not have sex with that woman.
Miss Lewinsky.
who's being accused? I thought it was his. The last I heard was his interpreter was in trouble.
Let's let
That was the
Todd
last I
let's
heard.
let Todd fill us in.
Yeah, fill us in the 10 minutes or less.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I think
He's a good politician. He's a really good politician.
Biden's press
My
secretary
perception is that
is
you
going to be
know
the new
all about it.
interpreter.
Hey, if you go straight to the source,
Yeah.
there was a press conference today,
Okay.
and Ohtani point blank said, "I did not gamble on baseball or any other sport, or have somebody gamble on my behalf."
Okay, so that was the
Full
I'm
stop.
serious. I don't know the whole story. So that he was accused of that. I thought it was the interpreter that was accused of it.
So yeah, that's who was. Apparently, this guy was a bad gambler, and he stole money and
From Shohei's account to pay his gambling debt.
Somehow
to
he had
a
access
bookie
to-
that's
He was
under
the
federal
gambler.
investigation.
Okay, he's the gambler, the
Apparently.
interpreter.
Yeah.
look at that guy, so gullible.
Well, when you say it, I believe it.
Pretty convinced him.
I really don't know.
Follow the money trail.
Yeah, I really don't know. But
When you say it, Todd, I believe it. But when I was on the internet, I didn't believe any of that.
You do really need to watch the press conference though, because if he was involved in this, he would never. His attorneys. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's worth probably $1 billion.
Right. Especially
His
the
attorneys would
endorsements.
not let him go make comments. They would say, you know what?
Right.
Read this. This is currently under investigation. I can't comment on it. But he came out point blank and said, I didn't gamble on any sport
Where did the focus come from?
ever.
He said never. He's the word never. Which
And he's worth more than that.
Which is a
to Major
powerful
League
word in
Baseball.
English
He's
language.
worth probably $5 billion
Oh, yeah.
or more to Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball has just as much at stake as he does
Agreed.
because they cannot afford for this to be true.
So when did the focus change from the interpreter to him?
When all of the internet speculation started.
Okay. See, I missed that. That's the part I missed.
That's when
And the bank
it
account.
happened.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get to the bottom of this. Okay. So people just started speculating and they were making accusations without any basis. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, listen, if he didn't play for my team, I would want something to make him not be able to play too.
That's why the
listen,
owner
I
of the
wanna see him.
Astros came out and said what he said. Did you see what the owner of the Astros said?
yeah, the
Go
owner.
ahead and tell him, Captain.
No, I don't remember exactly. He said something. It was kind of ironic that he would say anything.
Yeah, of all people.
Yeah, of all,
It was like embarrassing to baseball or something
of all
like that.
cheaters.
Really?
Of all cheaters,
Yeah. From the
How
Astros.
did he say it? Did he bang it on a trash can in Morse code?
Yeah,
Or did he actually?
From the center field bleachers.
Okay.
But he came out and had some really bad comments. I can't remember exactly what he said either, but yeah, exactly. That's an ironic guy. to
And then
come out.
Pete Rose came out with a statement.
What?
Yeah, he said if I had an interpreter, I would have got off scot free. He said,
That's actually pretty smart.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you for 3 times the elephant.
it's the Godzilla in the room.
Yeah. All right. So, we could keep going, but we're good. Good discussion.
All right,
Kind of
man.
went fast. It just seemed like it went fast.
Yeah. Well, we got on abortion and we were on a roll.
Yeah, jeez.
I did have an alibi, though.
Thanks for
I
putting
wanted
up
to
with-
bring up, Mike.
What?
I do have an alibi I wanted to bring up.
An alibi
An alibi, yeah.
for.
So went to a concert this week. I thought you'd be interested in it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm listening.
Because I know Cody Johnson listens, right?
Cody Johnson. That's right.
Yeah, Cody Johnson.
You guys went.
Yeah,
Both of you.
with Justin Moore.
And Justin Moore, yeah.
So I haven't been to a concert where they sang the national anthem and God Bless America
And God bless America.
Oh, I
and
thought-
recognize all first responders, military. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is cool. Did you record it?
And there
lot of
was
people did. I don't think
there were everybody was standing. There was nobody seated.
No riots?
And all hats, all covers came off.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was very patriotic.
See, I don't want to go down that path again, but that's what I think. That's what I think. I think there's a tide turning, not a red wave. I just think there's a tide turning.
I tend to agree with you.
And,
I think so.
And I don't want to give up on those things that matter. I don't think any of us do. I'm not saying,
We were dead.
That,
Heart.
I'm
We were
just-
dead at heart in the heart of Baltimore City,
yeah.
and everybody that came to that concert was not from there.
but they were all wearing cowboy hats.
That's right. Well, cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and now country western. But and
That's
nobody,
okay.
nobody was.
Nothing wrong with it.
All those voters are not city voters. They're out.
Yeah,
They're not there.
You're right.
They don't live there.
Oh, dang. All right, I do want to wrap it up, but you just reminded me of something. Did you see the numbers?
I did. Hogan?
No.
What numbers you talking about?
Embassy poll?
BPD.
No.
They're so understaffed now.
800?
They have 3 guys patrolling in neighborhoods of 61,000.
Oh, wow.
3.
Wow.
Can you imagine? You know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being one of the 3?
Yeah.
It's bad enough when you're 3 in Harford County.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
so
we've done
how many-
that.
How many,
We have. Yeah.
how many officers are they down completely? Last I heard,
That
there were
I didn't
800.
hear how many were down, but it's dropped past that.
There used to be 3,200
Yeah.
police officers there at one point.
So you got Baltimore City
Now they're
residents counting on. In fact, they even said they're not responding to calls, even though they just had a child being assaulted, and no one responded.
yeah.
It's
Call me when
Do they have
Joel
social
runs
workers
body.
though responding? Social
what?
workers.
Social
and-
workers, yeah. Call me when he needs chalk.
Safe streets. Safe streets are going to respond.
I guess anything's better than nothing, but no, I just saw that this afternoon.
I heard they don't even have enough cars to hit people with.
Yeah.
It might be a good time to invest in chalk.
Or body bags.
Yeah, in Baltimore. And here's the problem. We're talking about all this fun stuff going on with Baltimore. With the Orioles. Eventually, it's coming home. It's coming home, and we've been screaming this for how long now? I'm going back to years ago. We were talking about how just places that have security was going to start dealing more with active shooters.
Yeah.
And sure enough, and we just keep, those of us who have been in that, it doesn't even have to be that. Common sense tells you.
Well,
The average adult with common sense knows it's coming.
everybody has eyes.
Yeah. And we're just collectively sticking our head in the sands. Who's going to deal with it? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't want to go all out.
I mean, there's places you can get in there, private police forces, like Federal Health has their own little private security, whatever. All the people that have a little bit of money that still choose to live there, they're getting their own little force together because your call is not going to be answered. So,
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for listening to my rant, and
yes, sir.
Captain for coming up with some good topics. That was great. 3 elephants. That's a first.
3 elephants.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, and thank all of you for listening. You guys have actually helped push us over 1,000 a lot faster than we thought we'd be as far as downloads and follows. So thank you for that. And again, reach out if you have any questions or comments. It's Mike at All Red. What is it?
Red, white,
All Red, White, and Blue.
All red, white, and blue.
.com. Mike at allredwhiteandblue.com. So, and that's the only email we have set up right now, but you can also make comments on your podcast platform. So if you like it, click like, tell us what you think, and keep listening if you want to.
So we're all going to be back next week.
So we're all back next week.
Don't bet on it.
April Fools, don't bet on it.
All right. Well, have a good night. Have a good week.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy
Oh,
Easter.
yeah. Happy Easter, man. Just
interesting.
a couple more days. All right. Thanks again, and you guys have a good night.
See you.
Bye-bye. Hey, you've been listening to the All Red, White, and Blue podcast. It's engineered and recorded by Josh Miller. Please subscribe and comment so you don't miss any future episodes. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with you again next week.